All right, so when it comes to the Cowboys here, and I really wasn't even considering this in terms of, do the Cowboys have a top 5 running back tandem? But when I saw this from Bucky Brooks, I found it relatively interesting. If I asked you, all right, who are the top running back tandems in football, do you have any that just jump to mind?
Well, I think we all probably look to Cleveland as being, that one where you got Chubb and you got Kareem Hunt. And both of those guys are starters on pretty much every single team outside of the one that they're on because they're both on the same team. And so that's a hell of a 1-2 punch. Outside of that, I'm like, who's got two really good backs?
I was thinking the Colts with Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack, but Marlon Mack has definitely fallen apart the last couple seasons.
Yeah, and they have Nyheim
Hines, that's right,
who does a little bit of work for them. I mean, honestly, outside of the Browns, it's hard for me to put my finger on another team that's got just an awesome duo, an awesome tandem at running back. Like you had Mark Ingram and Kamara a few years ago in New Orleans. That's no longer the case. Baltimore's had a stable of backs, but I mean, I don't know. And you're probably not going to throw a Travis Etienne, James Robinson, which we haven't actually seen yet out there in Jacksonville.
One, though. That's a good one to throw out there. But yeah, not yet, right? Just because we haven't seen Travis Etienne play in the NFL.
Sure. So, I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think. Like we've gone away from the running back so much that, I mean, sure, teams will go like running back by committee, but it's not like two studs. Like Cleveland seems like a pretty big outlier where they have two bona fide bad A's at running back.
Yeah, Cleveland is far and away number one, without question, with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, both are excellent running backs, and Kareem Hunt's also proven he can be really, really good out of the backfield as a receiver. They've lined him up all over the place. I think the way that they use both of them on the field at the same time is incredible. It's something that we talked about during last year for the Cowboys. If you want to get Tony Pollard more involved, that's a great way to do it, which is why it might be a benefit that he's been taking some wide receiver reps with some of the injuries and some of the guys being sick or not available, during some of these OTA and minicamp practices. He's had to line up and run with the receivers. That could end up being beneficial for the Cowboys this year if they want to try and utilize him in that kind of capacity just to get him on the field more. But here are the top 5, and Raider Joe is going to be happy with number 5 as it is their 80s with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake, who they recently signed from the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
He had a 1,000-yard season with the Cardinals.
He did. So you got 2,000-yard backs. Number 4 is really a 3-headed monster with the Indianapolis Colts. And this is a good one. I think the Colts get underrated with their backfield with Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, and Marlon Mack. All 3 of them have been a lead back at one point for the Colts, but Jonathan Taylor clearly has emerged as the lead dog in that backfield. Then you got the Cowboys coming in as the 3rd best running back tandem in football with Zeke and Pollard. And the little blurb right up from one Bucky Brooks is, despite a subpar 2020 campaign from faded Zeke, the 2-time rushing champ teams with Pollard to give the Cowboys an explosive 1-2 punch. Elliott remains a rugged runner with outstanding vision, balance, and short area burst. As his offseason social media suggests, he's committed to regaining his all-star form and a fit number 21. Could add a 3rd rushing title to his collection playing behind a healthy offensive line with Dak Prescott at the helm. Pollard has shown big play potential as a super sub with speed, quickness, and wiggle. With the Cowboys capable of putting up big numbers as an offensive-driven squad, the football world could quickly appreciate the complementary backfield that makes this offense go. A true thunder and lightning, if you will, for the Cowboys with Zeke and Pollard.
That's what we want. That's what we want, and I could use a little bit more lightning out of my thunder, with the thunder being Zeke. Let's get those feet a little bit quicker. Let's get that explosiveness. Let's have more than like one rush of 15 yards on the season. That would be nice, but I do think we have a super solid tandem. I like the complement of Pollard to Zeke, I think is nice, and I would like to see more Pollard this year. I think he's gotten a little bit more put on his plate each year from year 1 to year 2, and then now it's like, okay, he showed some stuff last year where it's like, all right, this guy can really change the dynamic of your offense. It felt like Kellen Moore almost got more creative when Zeke was out of the game and Pollard was in the game. And so I like the idea of both of them being on the field at the same time together. There's just a lot of fun stuff you can do, and hopefully we get a rejuvenated Ezekiel Elliott, but I would like to see a lot of Pollard. And then obviously when you're leading in a game, late in a game, then it seems like Zeke would be sort of your closer. But, I mean, I want to see a healthy dose of Pollard this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to see more of Pollard as well. Number 2, we got a text in, and they got it right, the 469. Kamara and Murray make a nice back staff, says the 469, and that is
it's a good back
number
staff.
2. Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, and, of course, number 1, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So not on the list. We got a couple of texts. What about the Vikings? Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison, they've been pretty good. Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette from the 561. That actually is a good one with Tampa Bay. 817 suggesting Luke McCaffrey and Mike Davis. Mike Davis actually is now in Atlanta. He's probably going to be their number 1 running back. And then another text from the 318. What about Le'Veon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Le'Veon Bell is also a free agent now as well. So I think who would that tandem be now? Darrell Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Darrell Williams. Unless Damian Williams might be coming back if he's still under contract there. He opted out of last year, so he might be the number 2 guy for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, assuming he's still under contract with Kansas City.
I think Damian Williams is actually on the Bears right now, which is weird, and I think he's wearing a single-digit number 8.
Ooh, I love that.